Hey everyone, welcome back to another vinyl record review video. Today I'll be looking at NOTAHEROMUSIC's 2018 EP, RIP Indo Hisashi. This is his third EP, but actually the first one to be released under Dirty Hit Records, and as such was also produced by George and Matty from the 1975. Now the first thing I want to talk about is the artwork. I'm very impressed by the graphic design, layout and composition of this. It's also interesting to see that there's this recurring theme of this hanging light plant pendant type object above him, which he's used quite a few times now throughout the release of this EP through the single artworks as well as the cover. And of course I can't talk about this EP without mentioning the 1975, and I feel like in a way it's almost his equivalent of their neon sign. I've been known to be not too keen on when bands and artists use photos of themselves for the cover of their artwork in singles, but that's more related to the genres of alternative rock where I feel like there needs to be more originality and an effort to create art. In the case of genres which are more focused around, electronic, R&B, chill wave, synth pop, which this EP embraces, I feel like there's a lot more precedence for using photos, which is why it's a little bit more appropriate in this case. There's a lot of things that I love about the design of the artwork, such as the vertical stylized Rome logo, the use of annotations, the / symbols which then turn into a solid strip, the bold use of white, pinks and orange, as well as even the use of these printer markings around the edges which form a border. Another interesting thing about the design is that it's double-sided, and as you can see on what is actually the back cover, there is a version of it in orange with all the same details you find on the front. And it's quite clever because it gives you this idea that there isn't really a front or back cover to this, as well as providing you with alternative artwork. The title of the EP is dedicated to the late Japanese artist Indo Hisashi, who was known for his simple textured paintings. There's a series of text across the top of the artwork which don't seem to correspond with anything on the EP, which is very interesting. Because from what I've read online is that it might have been rumoured to be track listings for the EP, but obviously they're not. There's nothing here called Forever, James Ferrari, 420, 2088, but what I have found out is apparently that the name James Ferrari is one of his aliases, so it is possible these are alternative stage names or artist names, but if you know something, please let me know in the comments. There is sadly no inner sleeve or lyric sheet apart from the crappy sleeve for the record itself, which you should definitely replace with something a lot better. But also it's not surprising there is anything else inside because it's an EP, and EPs are generally only about 5 or so songs, in this case 4, and they must have thought, well, it's probably not worth putting anything else in and spending an extra bit of money. It does, however, include a very well designed download card. This is the record itself. It is a 12-inch heavyweight white coloured vinyl, which isn't exactly a bright white, it's more of an off-white creamy kind of colour, or at least the copy that I have anyway. The centre label is very well designed. As you can see, it follows the same style as the front and back cover, and of course the side's pink for side A and on side B is orange just as much as it is on the front and back cover of the sleeve. And as with most other Dirty Hit record vinyl, there's a scratched in message on the centre sort of area of the disc, which in here it says "Don't let it get to you," which is ironic because one thing I would say, which is a bit of a nitpick, is the fact that this is a 4-track EP. There's only 4 songs, and yet they put it on a 12-inch record. That's a lot of wasted material, considering this could have been done and has been done in the past by a lot of other people on a 10-inch EP. Why they put it on a 12-inch, I have no idea. Whether it was to increase the sort of value of it somehow, I don't know. Like, if it's bigger, they think, oh, it's worth a lot more. I don't know. Honestly, don't know. I really wish people don't do that. The first track, Do It Again, is a song that I genuinely just fell in love with as soon as I heard it as a single. There was just something so fresh about it. I love the vibe it was creating. There's something so chill, and I love how clean and smooth his vocals were and how it flowed with the beat, and how when you listen to the song, and yes, it's repetitive as much as this sort of genre can be, but it's just, when you hear the song, you just notice all these little extra details and intricacies that he's thrown in there, and I feel like it's a really strong opening song. The second song, 17, is the slow jam, chill wave kind of track on this EP, and I love how it starts off really dreamy with his vocals and done in a way that's very euphoric and atmospheric and haunting in a way, which then sort of steps back a bit with just his vocals and some piano, and then kicks into the chorus in a very subtle kind of way, which I really enjoyed. One thing that I didn't really like as much is the fact that there's this almost overuse of synths between the first and the last chorus, which genuinely drags on for a minute, which I feel like was just a bit too much. Now on to side B, the song Narcissist featuring the 1975 is clearly the most anticipated track on this EP when it was first announced as part of the track listing, because it was going to feature Matty Healy doing some vocals. This I thought was an incredible song in terms of how we could see a glimpse of them collaborating with each other, because I don't think I've heard Matty's vocals collaborate with anyone in this sense before, but also a glimpse into the 1975 sort of style and influences into their third album and onwards. I love how they've also sort of sampled from the song Solo by Korean hip-hop artist Jay Park, which is also another great song. And it's just a great track. It's a fun song, you know. It's great to see them entertain this idea and the style of music together and songwriting, and yeah, it's just, in general, a very fun track. The last song, Saint Laurent, is probably the one with the fastest tempo on the EP. Yes, there's a lot of repetition throughout, but they make up for it by adding a lot of textures in the song, which keeps it interesting. Also like how there's this transition between that song and then into this dramatic, haunting outro as the EP draws us to a close. Overall, I think this is a great EP for NOROM to establish his career under Dirty Hit Records, as well as working with some very talented individuals. I like how we're seeing some diversity added to the roster under that label, with Filipino artists alongside Biba DB, as well as setting a precedent with this EP for what we'll eventually expect in his music later, such as his following EP, Crying into British Places, with some very phenomenal tracks such as Pink and Cash Money. And that does it for my review of NOROM's 2018 EP. If you guys found this video helpful or enjoyed it in some way, please feel free to show support by liking, commenting, subscribing to my channel, and follow me on various social media. And hopefully I'll see you guys in the next video.